we are getting back at it with some D&D things with the next episode of Colder Than a Twitch's Wit. Um, so quick announcement before we get into things. Excuse me. We've got so many episodes getting up on YouTube recently. It is just I think it's every day now. We've got so much coming out there. It's great. Book of Saints and Witcher Ways of Old are both caught up. Past episodes of Colder Than a Twitch's Wit are coming up on there now. I think we're up to episode 12 or at the time of recording this. So, it's getting there. It's getting there. Definitely, if you missed anything or you just want to start over and watch it, from the beginning for any of the others. And or, if you want to just start binge watching the other ones and then once all the episodes of Colder get up there, go and binge watch that too. Great, great. Excuse me. That's really all I've got for announcements though. So we're just gonna roll right into it and meet the players.
Hello, I am Warren, and I'm here to play Curious Spirit. Excited to see if we can res our dead comrade. Well, I never met him, but
I feel very bad for Warren to have to deal with me today all by himself.
All right. Well, hopefully, it won't be too bad for Warren. You know, I I've always found NIAM to be an absolute joy to be around. I'm just maybe I'm biased, but uh, all right. The last episode was an exciting one. Did either of you guys want to try the recap, or do you want me to take it? No. Okay. I would have felt rude if I didn't at least offer. No. So, last time we had our heroes down in the caves with the spiders. So many spiders. An uncomfortable amount, really. And Niam, using some magic, had um, excuse me, using some magic, had been able to essentially communicate with these spiders, um, and figure out that they were gathering just as much food as they could to feed their young, or not their young, but the young. Now, through some clever wordplay and taking advantage of the we'll say I was going to say lower intelligence, but they were intelligent for spiders, but not quite on par with the humanoids as far as like the deeper thinking went, which our party used to their advantage. So with that, some clever wordplay, a little bit of deception sprinkled in there. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna take our friend Zaris, and we're gonna get out of here, and we're gonna get you some more food." Well, the leader of these spiders, the Ettercap known as Chitterfang, was not as easily convinced, and some will say less than successful negotiations. Things started to get a little ugly. So our party decided to grab the cleric, get the hell out of Dodge, and light everything on fire on the way out. Just in time for oh, how many was it? I want to say a good 60 Ettercat babies were just bursting out of the eggs, and they were just eating everything. Party managed to get it out and get themselves out with I want to say about half the party incapacitated, so bravo there. And yeah, they got out, they sealed the exit behind them, and everything on fire. Hopefully that got rid of all the little babies, but time will tell, I suppose. I'm sure nothing will come of that. Then it was up here, in back in the safety of the goblin lair, where it was discovered that Xeris had succumbed to his injuries, and by the time they had gotten him to safety, he was already dead. Now, Cleo had left with Xeris's body to go back to Nigh Point, to go and speak with Balthazar, the priest of Nox, the god of death, to see if he would be able to resurrect Xeris. That leaves our remaining party here to deal with the aftermath. Speaking with the goblins, securing the prisoner that they were after, the crazy guy with the missing hand and the missing leg too, actually. And then after that, following up and seeing how that resurrection went. And that is where we find ourselves today. Now, if I recall correctly, you guys had been banged up pretty good on your way out of that. I know there was some healing that was done. But with being back to being in a safe place, you guys would be able to take a long rest. The goblins being able to make accommodations for you, and they will also be essentially preparing a feast, as it were, both to celebrate your victory over the blight that was affecting them, the spiders, and basically saving their people, but also in honor of Xeris, who had kind of led that little charge and kind of worked as a sort of figurehead, I suppose you could say, a champion of the goblin people, as it were. Excuse me. All right. So, was there anything else that you guys wanted to get to either before the long rest or right after?
I'm assuming that we had a discussion with the goblin leader,
Uh,
or has that not taken place?
so that exact part hasn't taken place yet. Um, excuse me. So yeah, so you guys come up. Obviously, Cleo before had gotten her dad, and was able to go. And at that point in time, you guys would be able to have the interaction with the, excuse me, the Goblin Chief. What's his name? Kriegark. Yep, Kriegark Topor.
There was the satyr in the cell, but there was also the crazy man. I don't know how else to put it. Is he still in there?
He is still in there. Um, the goblins have made sort of an attempt to kind of like really just kind of stop him from just writing shit on the walls. Because it was kind of creeping him out that he was just you know using using his own blood to write shit on the walls. So they've sort of just kind of tied him to a rock, and there's two goblins standing on top of each other, just kind of scrubbing the walls. And the guy's just kind of muttering to himself and rocking back and forth. But he is still in the cell. Aside from that, like he hasn't gotten away.
Well, when Cleo grabs her dad and they take off,
Mhm.
she's going. We're releasing him.
Oh, releasing him.
Yeah.
Okay.
NIAM's just cutting him out of bonds or whatever, however they have him tied to the rock and telling him to go.
Okay.
So I don't know if there'll be confrontation with goblins about doing that, but there we go.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Curious is just along for the ride at this point, watching everything that's happening.
Yeah. He's gonna sort of stumble away a little bit. Still only having one leg at this point. He's not gonna be very fast. But he makes his way through. And yeah. Since the goblins had, if I recall correctly, had agreed to hand him over upon essentially treating the problem of their blight, which you guys had done, he was yours to do with as you saw fit. So, and yeah, he's free, off to go and do whatever it is that crazy AMPTs are up to in this part of the world.
Okay, then. What's next?
I have no idea.
The guy I was supposed to be escorting just kind of bounced, so I guess crazy spider things don't sit well with him.
No, so where was this? Where's this guy? Did not forget about that guy. I just forgot his name. Wilfred. That was it. Wilfred. Yep.
Horrible name, but okay.
I mean, yeah, but excuse me a second. Yes. So Wilfred does make his way back in. Oh, I'm so glad you survived. I never doubted it for a second. Okay, I may have for a couple of seconds, but I'm glad that you're alive.
You too, Wilfred. Hi.
Yes, sir.
Where did you find him? Where do you need to be?
It was a job for the guild. I was supposed to escort him to wherever he wanted to go.
Well, yes, we were making a delivery to Night Point, I believe it was. Yes. Oh,
What are you?
glad to see that they're scrubbing up the place. This place could use a good cleaning or two. Or three.
What are you delivering to Night Point, and to who in Night Point?
I believe it was just some fabric. I want to say it was nothing extraordinary at all. Actually, when we I'm trying. Where did those spiders come from? There were so many of them.
Do you still have it? It was
The
in the
spiders? No,
cart,
I don't.
wasn't it?
I don't have any spiders.
No, the fabric.
No, I actually don't know where any of that is. Oh.
So who in Night Point were you delivering the fabric to?
Let me see. And he starts fiddling through his pockets. Excuse me. A gentleman by the name of Darius Holdia.
I take it since you're asking that you're familiar with this 9 Point place and chance you know that guy?
I'm just wondering what you. I-
Now, actually, I think Niam, you might have actually had an interaction with this individual before, but it's been quite a while. He was the one when you were buying the fabric for the orphans. He was the guy who owned the shop for that.
Well, that's why when he said fabric, I was like, wait, did I forget something? I was like, I didn't order that much fabric. But then we were
Oh,
making banners too, so I'm not sure.
you were. But he's also got to resupply every once in a while. So.
Right. But to answer your question, yes, I do know him. I do know 9 Point. That's where we were. That's where, yeah, that's,
Is that where they took your friend?
yeah.
Oh, so we're headed there anyways, because we're gonna go catch up to them, right?
Well, yes, yes.
What are you gonna do
Uh,
about not having the goods?
I hadn't gotten that far. I was hoping that. Oh, hopefully the spiders didn't take them. What would spiders need with that?
Yeah, I doubt they did.
They,
Where was your cart?
I think.
With us when we made camp under the bridge.
Yes, yes.
So
But
maybe it's
where?
still there?
I hope so. I hope so.
But neither of you
Excuse me.
remembers where the bridge is.
Well, I don't actually know where we are now, so it's hard for me to say. I would say it's a click to the north if I don't know where we are.
Is this town's like underground, right? Or is this an
Uh,
above ground town? Can we see our
uh,
surroundings?
so this is kind of like it's sort of underground. It's kind of a bit of both. There's a portion of the encampment that is above ground. Um, excuse me. But the actually, I think the goblins had told you where this place was. Let me see. Where's the name of it? Ah, yes, Windcrest Hollows. So it's an abandoned or thought to be abandoned mining facility that the goblins repurposed. So, location wise, this is, I want to say, the bridge that you mentioned is not too far away. Pulling up the map for that so that way I can get to that whenever that loads.
Oh,
Yes, if the caravan that, excuse me, you were transporting is still, if the spiders had no need for it and they just left it as is, then there shouldn't be much difficulty in locating it from there.
locating it isn't
And
the
it
only
sh-
problem that we face though, because if they got us there, that means there's another entrance to that cave there, and yeah, we don't know if everything down there died.
that is true. That is true.
Mm, mhm. No more spiders. No more spiders.
How badly do we need this fabric? I mean, it's part of the job, I understand, but Wilfred? Eh?
Well, we were we were looking at a profit of about 300 gold.
Okay.
100 gold as spiders that are hungry.
Oh,
You're the
yes.
client, so I kind of have to do whatever you say. But if I'm going, you're going. So
Oh, what a day to be scrumptious.
Well, not necessarily. So I need to go talk to the Goblin King and fill him in on the wonderfulness of Spider Land, and maybe they can do something about the spiders and figuring out if there's more things. Because personally, with the mood I'm in right now after losing Xeris and Blob Guy, I'm done. So we're up here. I'm not going back down where there's more spiders, but I can set a blaze the underground that they're in. That is the mood I am in. I don't care. And if the goblins all die in the fricassee of spiderdom, then, well, that's what's going to happen. Because guess what? You have taken way too much. So the spiders, I don't care. And I'm pretty sure the goblins aren't going to be able to figure out how to go from here to ethereal land where the spiders were coming from. So, and I don't want to go there. I don't know if anybody.
absolutely not.
Oh,
Nope,
no,
nope,
most
nope,
definitely
nope,
So,
nope.
no. No, no, no. Oh, no. Certainly not.
But it should be stated we were outside. We weren't in the cave that we lit on fire. I'm just saying that there had to be an exit to that cave to wherever we were.
right, it's
So
underground. There's probably a million entrances and exits, and it doesn't really matter when you can pop in and out of an ethereal realm and do what you want.
do you think they hold grudges?
Probably.
Oh, oh that. Oh.
Hmm.
What? Why did you have? Why did you put that image in my head? Oh.
Because that's what I'm here for.
I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight.
Probably not well.
And I'm sorry. Did you just say that they could just like
The
go
question
with me and
remains, are we
up
going to
here?
sleep with the wagon or without the wagon? Are we going to get this stupid wagon?
If by that bridge and based off of where we were, I want to say that was only about 3 hours north of here.
I mean, if you got hired to make sure he got this material to Night Point, then you kind of have to go get the wagon and figure out where the material went and get him to Night Point. So
I
you're
know,
kind of
but
stuck because you got paid to be his bitch boy.
payment on delivery. I haven't been paid shit yet. And these fucking
Oh,
spiders were everywhere, and they were not part of the job detail.
well, then I would ask for more money.
Staring at Wilfred.
I believe that under the circumstances that can be arranged.
Good, good, good. Especially if we're going back to go get it. All right. Would you like to come with us and we can all go to Nye Point together? I want to run off to catch up to them.
Sure. I don't have a purpose now. Might as well. I do have to talk to the Goblin King, though, before I go anywhere, so I don't know if you want to
Hey,
go do that or not.
okay, we'll go with you, and then we'll deal with this wagon,
Mm.
and then off to Night Point.
All right. Yep. So being able to go and see the Goblin King, there's no efforts there, or no obstacles really, nothing in your way from doing that. The other goblins, I mean, you just saved their people effectively. They're not going to stop you. So, and he sees you come back in. Hello, I see you have returned.
Yes. Well, some of us have.
Yes, I have heard. This big sad, big sad. So we shall hold a feast in his honor. I have already started to prepare. Wayne, start preparing the feast. Yes, sir. He kind of scurries off. See, already started the preparations. We will. There is much food to prepare. This will be ready first thing in the morning. Yes, there is much to prepare.
Okay. Well, you guys do your feast thing. We have to go find a cart. And
You have
you
to
may
find the
want to
cart?
figure out if there's still entrances and exits and more tunnels filled with spiders underneath here.
Yes, yes.
Or maybe just move as a whole.
I will look into this. Spiders, not good. Not very tasty either. Sometimes lethargy.
Apparently, never mind. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
But after dealing with this, you must be tired. You may stay here as long as you like, and then in the morning we shall feast. And you, you need the cart before the feast is kind of big deal. Cart does not sound like big deal.
The cart is kind of their job.
That's my deal. Sorry.
Uh, hmm. Never seen cat like cart. Always ride in cart and get freaked out. But have seen weirder.
Think I ride in the cart? No. No. I walk next to it.
Then you are not very smart, no? It seems like it's much easier to ride in cart.
And very slow. I walk faster.
Hmm. Cat is strange.
You too.
Um, excuse me. So yeah, but yeah, he has. Excuse me. Yeah. So again, as you guys were staying here before, he does still offer that as a safe place for you to rest, should you need to. Um, there is definitely enough time to grab the cart before the start of the feast time. So if that is something that you guys want to do, uh, then that's totally an option. But it's up to you guys.
Sure, why not?
Let's go find your cart.
Yeah, we'll go find the cart. Hopefully, maybe, in one piece. We'll see.
I'm not covered in spider webs.
Hopefully not. Yep. So, setting out to find the cart. Yes.
Along the way, I'm just gonna be talking to NIAM about general everything.
Okay. Yeah, if there's any of that conversation that you would like to do, like during the transit, like on screen, then that's totally fine too. It's your guys' scene.
So, are you an adventurer, or like what brought you to here?
Here to the goblins, or what?
Yeah. What do you do?
I travel. I was in a caravan with Eris, and we ended up at Night Point and found orphans, and somehow ended up taking over the town, which was leading over into bringing the region together under one banner. And there's something I forgot. There's something we were supposed to be doing. There was something else. Because
Would you like help with your mysterious tasks?
I can't
After this,
remember
I
what
don't.
it is. And the voices are really quiet. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's still weird to me. I don't get the voices
Yeah.
thing you
The
keep
voices
saying.
are just like faintly singing in the background. Like there's nothing in particular, just different melodies until they get bored and then they switch to a different melody.
I don't know what to do. I, I have I have his rocks, right, David?
You would have been able to get them before Cleo left with the body, so yeah.
Yeah, because you gave me that list of stuff.
Yep, yep.
So why why are you why are you here? I mean, I get you have to help him take this cart to Nine Point, but why?
I joined the guild a while back because I'll be honest, I'm stuck on this continent. I'm not from here at all. Um, we got shipwrecked on a monastery expedition to talk to people, spread the word and everything, and so we broke off into groups to try to raise money to get a new ship so we could get home. Um, and then my partner went missing. I thought he was with the spider people, but apparently not. So
Well,
yes,
wait,
now I'm going at it alone
but your partner's missing. Don't you think you should find your partner? I mean, why are we not concerned?
because he's been missing for like 3 weeks to a month now. I tried. I looked a lot. Um,
So you're just gonna let it where was your partner last? You're just gonna let it go? I mean, how do you do that? You gonna just let people go? Why am I standing here with
no,
you?
no, 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 no. Not letting it go. Not letting it go. But he had all the money for the boat. He was carrying it all because he was above me in the pecking order, so he had it all. I need more money now to help me try to track him down because
Are
he
you
just
sure he
disappeared.
didn't take? Are you sure he didn't take the money and go back, but without you? I mean, he is part of the guild. I mean,
No, he wouldn't do that. He would never do that.
You sure? You sure?
I've known him my entire life.
Mm.
He wouldn't do that. Plus, we're not supposed to meet for another like 2 years.
Wait,
That's
what?
when that's when we're supposed to meet up. All of us.
All of you who?
There was eight of us left after the shipwreck. We broke up into groups of 2.
So you're just supposed to scatter through the continent, make money, and then meet up at some random place in 2 years? Who decided 2 years? What? What?
The boss decided 2 years. And it was actually 3. It's
Huh?
been a year.
Huh. Uh, You know what? Okay. Hmm. So now you're trying to make money to buy a boat so you can go. Where are you from?
It is a continent to the north.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if
So
we've
are,
established the name for that yet, but we'll get that.
are you concerned about? Do we need to find your friend? I mean, that's a long time to be missing.
Yes, I would very much like to find him, but I also trust that he is stronger than me. So if he's going to get out of something, I believe that he would be fine and we will meet again. I am going to look for him. I have been looking for him.
Okay.
But it's hard to know where to go.
Well, where were you when he disappeared?
I spent 2 weeks searching the town and the areas around that we were at, and he was just gone.
What?
It was a
What?
town not too far away from here. That's why I thought when we got kidnapped by the spiders that he might have been down there. Obviously, that wasn't the case.
You weren't in the woods, were you? For like a day, and it ended up being days later. David, I
Not
can't
that I
remember the name of that
know of.
place.
Oh no, he was not in that neck of the woods.
Nice pun. No, we were at an inn. We went to sleep, and when we woke up, he was just gone. Like I said, I searched for like 2 weeks. I figured maybe he had gotten free and was moving from wherever he was, so I took a job to move to another place to search there. I still have to keep the money going.
So are you all part of this guild, or did you just join this on the way?
Me and him joined the guild as a way of making money. We were part of the same monastery and sailed here on the same ship together. The other 6 are also part of that monastery. Our task was to come here and spread the word of our religion, our monastery, to those that wanted to hear it. Then we shipwrecked. So we divide and conquer was the plan. Spread out, spread the word where we could, make money to get a new ship.
Okay. So what do you do? You I mean, you protect people. What do you do?
For most of the jobs that I've taken,
Yeah.
usually, yeah, escorting, protections. Most of it really has just been escorting traveling merchants and stuff. We try to stay away from the more dangerous jobs, even though they make more money. Salazar, the leader, he was very clear that our biggest goal was to come back alive.
What did you say his name was?
The leader of our group that came here was Salazar.
I thought I heard something different. How much money do you need for a ship?
Let's
Good question.
see.
Mm.
Oh,
We
that-
just assumed it would be expensive because the one we came on was expensive.
I mean, yeah, ships. The things, I didn't expect to have to look up on the fly.
You're telling me I'm making most of this backstory up on the fly, my man.
Hey, I think you're doing great.
You're asking about my partner's name, though. His name was Samuel.
Yes, that one I remember. Yeah, I know there's price listings and what have you for
You're good,
that.
David.
So we'll get the exact amount sorted out later.
So what happens when you meet up in 2 years and nobody's there? What do you? I mean, I don't understand why you guys didn't stay together.
I asked the same question to myself, but it is not my place to question.
Why isn't it your place to question? Yeah, you have to ask questions. Why would you not? What is wrong with you?
Not question the leader.
But
That is why the 2 beneath him, they ask the questions. They make the plans together and decide for the group.
and you just follow blindly, even no matter what they say? They told you to cut your leg off. Are you going to cut your leg off?
Why would they tell me to cut my leg off?
But I can't. Oh my god. What do you want to do with you? I mean, you're just gonna just do this because that's what they tell you to do? Do you do things that you want to do?
Back home, yes. But here, I just it seemed like the most logical way to get home aside from sticking together. I don't know why that didn't happen, but I just
Okay. Well, you can't turn into other things, right? Like you're not going to turn into a big blob of nothingness when I'm not looking and just hmm. I am surrounded by people that just blindly follow other people because they are God. I don't understand.
um not to be rude, but weren't you saying that without your friend you'd lost your purpose?
In a sense,
Is that
yes.
not
But I know I still have a purpose because I could go out and do what I want to do. I can go back to Night Point and help the orphans that we have abandoned, because we took them in and gave them a home and now we just walked away. And now, Zaris, who's taken over the world, is dead. So I have to go back to Night Point and figure out who's going to handle all of that.
I
I
mean,
have a purpose. I was his, like, voice of reason because Blob Boy just told him, do what you want and kill things.
I can do what I please. I choose to follow the monastery
Why?
because they are they are everything other than my parents who are also back back on my continent. I need to get home.
How long? Okay. How long? How? Okay. Your continent is how far away? Because why don't we just get your little boat, put you on it, and send you back? Why do you have to wait for everybody else if you want to go home to your parents?
It's a 2-month journey
Okay.
sailing here, and I don't know how to. I don't know how to boat.
You don't know how you don't know how to boat?
I don't know what's the word. I don't know. I don't
Sail.
know how to. Oh,
You don't. How old are you?
see how that's relevant.
Huh.
22. Shut up. 26.
Sure. It, hmm.
Besides from my village, and then the monastery, and the surroundings, because I went and explored a lot, even though they said I wasn't supposed to. But
What?
like I
What?
said, I can do what I want.
But they told you not to go explore, so how can you do what you want if they're telling you not to?
I snuck out at night while they were sleeping. This was in my teens. It's fine.
Got it. So the monastery, what is their belief? What is, and is it just on your continent or is this like a continent wide type thing?
I have not heard anybody here discussing it, but our that's not true. Samuel said that the elves as a whole generally believe similar to us, but it is that the elements, the forces of nature, they give to us and they take from us as is needed, and all is in balance. So we don't necessarily pray exactly, but we recognize and believe in nature. It is our world, it is all around us, it is ever present. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, I mean, who you're talking to? So are you trying to build this belief by talking to people? What's the
That
end
was
goal
the
here?
original point in coming here, was just to spread the word to those that wanted to hear it or were open-minded, to make more people recognize and think of what they do in the world around them and the impacts that it could have. Mainly, it was just a mission of consciousness, if you would. And if we were to get enough people that cared and wanted to be a part of it, then maybe establish a monastery here.
So you're taking 2 years to get money, to get gold, to buy a ship, to go home, but you want to establish a monastery here if there's enough people
That
that
was
feel the way that you feel.
that was the original plan, was sail here, spread the word, maybe establish a monastery. Now the plan is to go home. We'll try again later. Obviously, if we were supposed to do what we came here to do when we came here to do it, we wouldn't have shipwrecked.
Maybe
Or
maybe
maybe we
the
were supposed to
shipwreck
stay.
was meant to happen and you were supposed to stay. I mean,
This is a possibility. It was, I do remember overhearing them debating that, the three.
okay, but what do you think?
I don't know. That was part of the reason why me and Samuel decided to join the guild, because we were traveling, learning the ways of this land, and raising money so that we could get the others home if that's what they chose to do, but we were deciding for ourselves whether to stay or not. But I do miss my mom and dad. They're still there. So I don't know yet.
Well, if we could find a way for you to go home, would you go home or are you going to wait for this 2 years for everybody else?
I will still wait for everyone else. I will not abandon my fellow monks.
You're weird.
I've heard that a lot today. Actually, no, I've heard that a lot my whole life. It's okay.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I enjoy being different.
I
Life's more fun
guess.
this way.
I mean, okay.
So at about this point, you guys are able to see. It's covered in snow at this point, but kind of. You had said under the bridge, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, right where you had left it, right under the bridge, there is the cart. It's covered with a little bit more snow than it was before. Um, and other than that, though, it seems to be in well enough condition. Um, there aren't any horses carrying it anymore. Like, not attached to the wagon. It looks like the cart itself was just left there.
And this is real snow. We're not gonna get up on it, and it's gonna be spider webs that looked like snow because they were so thick, right?
No, it's snow.
Checking.
You can see some spider webs in the area, um, but they look more residual rather than the spiders actually trying to build a web on it. Looks more like what was left from the ambush, just some web stuck to it.
Good, 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 good. Yay! That's it. That's the wagon.
Oh, good, good. Here. It's Wilfred. He's brushing off the snow and doing an inventory. Oh, good. The spiders had no care for a sense of fashion.
I mean, what do you have an 8-armed cardigan in there or something? I don't see why they would ever.
But with
Whatever.
this much
Whatever.
fabric,
Whatever.
you could
Whatever.
make one. You could make one with this much fabric. And let me tell you, it would be dazzling. At least if I made it. But I digress.
Hey.
We're gonna have to pull this back, aren't we?
I believe so, yes.
Not
Yes.
necessarily.
Oh,
Oh.
Um, what? Ah! Is it too soon to turn into a draft horse, David?
Oh, not at all. You've definitely had time to get at least a short rest in, which recharges your wild shapes. So
And about what time is it? Like rough as I know. I
uh,
need to stop making you think
no,
about things like that.
you're fine. I would say it's about early dusk, I would say at this point. So still have a little bit more daylight. If you weren't a horse, you would run the risk of being caught out in the dark. Um,
I'm
but
not sleeping here again. That's not happening.
no, that's fair. Going as a horse though, you guys would be able to make it back before it's like too dark to see.
Walking around the cart is the brain died. Harness and things like that to is that
Yes.
missing? Is that still with the cart or is that
No, so that is still there. And it looks like the horses were just kind of let go from that. Like somebody
or
had tried to free them. One of them looks like it's a little damaged, but the other one is fine.
were the horses here when they got you guys?
Yes, yes.
They took the horses. There's no doubt in my head about that.
Those were some fine horses. There were some fine horses. Yes.
Okay. Well, get it. All right. I can get you and the cart to Nye Point. Without the horses, because I can turn into a horse. So here we go. If that's what you guys want to do. Or, I mean, is anybody big on this goblin feast thing?
I barely did anything, so I don't care.
I mean, you lit the whole place on fire. I would say that's a little more than hardly doing anything, but
Oh yeah, I can burn some things.
ooh.
Okay, so let's get your merchandise back to Nye Point and
Okay. So Nye Point is going to be a little further away. I believe that. Say, have a little. Sorry, trying to. I had this all mapped out at one point too. Here we go. The little measuring thing. Oh, no. I'll just not save it. It'll be fine. That's a good ways away. It's probably going to take you about like 2 days to kind of travel there. So, or like, no, I think that one was about a day at that point. You guys went about 3 hours away from that.
well, looks like we're off on a new adventure away from the spiders.
Good. I don't want to be anywhere near the spiders anymore.
One of you does know how to hook up a horse to the cart.
Oh yes, of course.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna turn into a draft horse and.
All right. So, he'll be able to get you all hooked up. Relatively easy again. The harness and what have you was in good condition, so no issues there. And you guys are off. Just kind of leaving the goblins hanging with their feast and going straight to Nine Point.
Yeah. I personally, yes. I want
Totally
nothing
fine.
more to do with the goblins.
I didn't ask for a feast and they didn't offer it. They just told me it was happening so they can have a nice one.
Okay. Then, on your way to Nine Point. Uh, yeah. Actually, so I think about right here, we're gonna take a short break for tech and bio, and then we'll pick things up back from there. So we'll see you guys in like 5 to 7 minutes. Unless you're watching this on YouTube, then it'll only be a couple of seconds. But yeah, so we'll be right back, and we're back. All right, so you guys were on your way back to Nine Point. You found the cart, got it all hooked up, and got on your merry way, saying "fuck them goblins." And yeah, so it's gonna take a little bit of time to get there. Probably about a day and a half ish. You'd be able to make it a good amount of way before you need to rest, and then make it up the rest of the way there. Excuse me. So the trip back to Nine Point is relatively uneventful. You get some snow flurries coming in, a little bit of a breeze here and there, but overall, it's rather uneventful. So, upon getting to Nine Point, what's the first order of business?
Turning in this crap.
Turning in the crap. And doing so,
Actually,
yes.
sorry. No,
No,
first
you're fine.
should
What's
be
up?
for her going to see your friend. They're here, right?
Excuse me. Yes. Yes, they were. Um, so that is at Balthazar's place, the priest of Nox that you guys met before. While it was during the investigation of uh, the murder investigation that was going on before, with the whole two sisters kind of thing going on. Talking to two people, but it was one person in two places. That whole ordeal.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was fun. Okay, so we're taking care of that first then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then. So you get there. Uh, and, simple enough. A knock on the door, and you're let in. Um, and there is Balthazar. Now, this is a little different from when you had seen it before. Um, Xeris's body is on a table, much like the body was before when he was performing the autopsy. Uh, but now he instead there's magical inscriptions on the ground. There's various books and things in various ingredients that he's been using, resources and what have you, that he's been working on um, in order to perform this resurrection spell. And it's clear that he has been not wasting any time, as it were, since these things do tend to be time sensitive. Excuse me. And coming in, he'll ask you, you may sit wherever you would like, but just please don't touch any of the inscriptions or the ingredients. And he goes and he stands over right beside Zaris, right inside of that circle. And excuse me. He brings his hands together, and there is almost a visible aura around him as he does this. And he places his hands on either side of Zaris's shoulders. And he closes his eyes for a moment. And when he opens his eyes, they are blank white. And the aura that was around him grows larger, and almost as if it's as it's growing larger, it's moving in to Zaris. and that energy grows in intensity. And Xeris's chest almost starts to rise off of the table. And as the aura goes completely into Xeris, that aura just drops. And Balthazar closes his eyes for a moment. And he opens them again. He walks over to you. I cannot return your friend.
Why?
In order for the soul to be returned, it must be both willing and able to return. And try as I may, your friend, his soul is neither.
Maybe he's not able. What do we do to make him able? Why wouldn't he come back?
There's a few things that could cause that. His soul could be imprisoned, destroyed, or not among the dead.
He's not among the dead. He's I don't understand. He has to come back. You have to bring him back. What can I do? We have to bring him back.
He's not. Wherever his soul is, I cannot reach it. I'm sorry.
He feels like he did everything he was supposed to do in this life.
He didn't do everything he was supposed to do. He had a million more things he was supposed to do. Something stopping him from coming back. If she starts walking over towards the body, is Balthazar going to stop her?
No, he stands out of the way so that you may do so.
I'm going to walk over and put her hand on Xeris' chest, like almost gripping it. You're not done. You're not done here, and you have to come back. You can't leave everything that you started unfinished. You have to come back. He can hear me. Can he hear me, Balthazar? He has to be able to hear me. Do something.
He comes over and he places his hand on your shoulder. I'm sorry.
So you're telling me it's over? It's just done.
He is beyond me helping him at this point, and I'm sorry. There is nothing that I can do.
Who else knows?
Who else knows what?
That he's here, that he's gone.
I've told no one. So, aside from those of us in this room, it would be Cleo and her father, Fabio.
You sure there's nothing that you can do?
I have tried everything at my disposal. But either his soul is not able or not willing to return.
Uh, Thank you for trying. Um, we need to prepare his the funeral or something.
Of course. I can make any arrangements that you would like. If whatever manner of burial or other ceremony that you prefer.
Uh, I
You don't have to decide now.
I'll
I
let you know.
begin, of course.
I need a minute.
Of course. Take the time that you need. I will begin making the standard arrangements and adjust them to your needs. But please, take your time.
We can't exactly take our time because then he's gonna rot, and that's just unattractive.
Now, That part I can help with. He will be looking his best for a dead man when the time comes. I would not subject him to such indignity.
Thank you again. Um, I'll be back to make arrangements and everything with you. Are you ready to go do this delivery?
If you are, but if you need a minute, I understand.
No, it's fine. Let's go. Is that way you can handle what you need to handle and be on your way for your next adventure, I guess.
Thinking, actually, if you guys wanted and would have me, you guys seem to be traveling a lot, so I wouldn't mind as long as we can still earn some on the side.
I,
We can talk about all that later. We'll head that way towards the.
Okay. Yeah, making it that way is it's not a long walk at all. And yeah, it's a short walk into town, and from there, yeah, you're able to make that delivery. Wilfred, he goes inside and comes back with the coin, and he he comes back with a decently sized bag of coin. Well, two actually, one slightly smaller than the other. Um, and he will hand you the larger of the two bags. Now, I know I originally promised you 150 gold out of the 300, but given the circumstances and everything else that went on, I upped it to 200.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. Oof. Yes, hopefully that is sufficient for all the trouble that you've been through.
At this point, I'm just more so glad it's over and done.
Oh, you and me both. Oof.
So, what are you going to do now?
Hmm.
Are you staying here?
I think I will stay the night, and then I will most likely begin making my way back to Iceland from there. Uh, but what of you?
Okay. For me, I think I'm gonna stick around for a little bit.
I
Safe
will say this,
travels.
and to you as well. And I wish you the best of luck with your journey. And he's going to make his way to the Frostbit Inn in town. Excuse me.
Where do you need to go from here?
I should probably check in with Tanya, see how things have been going since Eris left her in charge of the town that he took over, and check on the children. Uh,
Yes. The well, ever since the children moved in, the the mayor's estate, as it were, has been lively, we'll say. For those of you who grew up with small families or even being an only child, um, yeah, having 14 kids under one roof is never boring. Never boring at all. So, this despite the efforts to keep the place tidy, it's still kind of crazy in there. Um, the kids have the furniture's flipped over, but stuff's kind of thrown all over the place. It's not like nobody lives there chaos. It's more like too many people live here chaos. You've got kids chasing each other up and down the halls. Some of them are climbing up things that they realistically probably shouldn't be climbing on, but they're young. They'll recover. Uh, Tanya is trying to wrangle them the best that she can. There are some other people trying to assist with that. Try as they may, trying to get the kids ready for bed. Excuse me. And it is here when, pardon me, when Tanya notices you. Oh, oh, ma'am, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Yeah,
how how are things?
uh, you know, despite how they look, good, good. And then like she kind of like ducks down as so, like a wooden block, just kind of gets thrown. I said no throwing things. No, no, a little hectic, but overall pretty good. They had a little bit more sugar than they were supposed to today, so just trying to get them ready for bed. Uh, yeah. What's well, first, welcome back. Yeah. What? How did it go?
Interesting. It
Okay.
it it was interesting. Um, there was a lot of spiders involved.
Oh.
Um,
Okay.
Cleo found her dad. Well, we found Cleo's dad.
Sorry, that part broke up a little bit. I couldn't hear you.
Cleo found her dad. We found her dad. So they're back here.
Oh, okay. That explains some of the music coming from the inn early. Okay, okay, that makes sense.
Um, Tanya, this is Spirit. Um, this is Tanya.
Hi.
Uh,
Um,
hello, hello, welcome. Where Where's Zeris?
How many of the kids are around?
About 6 of them.
He's currently visiting Balthazar.
Oh. All right. Well, uh, okay. Well, I guess the children will just have to meet him for breakfast then. I said it's time for bed. Using the cleric cantrip thaumaturgy, her voice booms through the room. So there is no doubt whether or not the kids heard her, and they all just drop what they're doing and start, scurrying and off to bed like they're supposed to.
Good. I was about to start growling at children. I don't like children.
And then another one of the kids comes out. I'm thirsty. You already had a drink. Go. And then one of the other kids leaning around from the corner. I want to tell the cat good night. Go to bed.
What?
They like you.
Okay, Ben.
So, with time and some effort, the kids eventually do end up settling down and stop getting up for all these little excuses and things that they thought of on the spot. And it's kind of quiet.
How's handling things here going? Are you good?
No, no, things have been going well. Captain Doskin has been uh he's been changing some things up with his men after some of the issues that Zaris found, where the quality of the guard could have been improved. So that is in work, and many of the repairs are well underway. We're just really just waiting for some equipment to come in, some of the wood that we need to build up the houses and what have you. But things are on schedule.
Um, what do you need? Do you guys need anything from me? Do you what?
Uh, no, no. Um, that's things get a little hectic around here, but we have what we need as far as things to keep the ship floating.
Um, um, I don't know how to say this, so Zeris isn't coming back.
Oh.
Um,
Um,
the spiders got him. Balthazar can't bring him back. He tried. Um, Blobby's gone. I don't know where he went.
Oh no. Okay. Okay. I don't know how to tell the children this.
I'll tell him. I mean, we can't not tell them. We can't just tell them that he's out.
Right.
They'll figure it out eventually. They're not stupid children.
No, they're not. No. All right. Well, we'll tell them in the morning then. I'll gather them up after breakfast. So, what are we going to do now?
Work in progress.
I don't know. Consult the rocks. I don't know, Tanya. I don't know. I thought that Balthazar could bring him back, and he can't. So I'm not abandoning the kids. I'm not abandoning.
No, certainly not.
I mean, I may not be taking over North and unifying the world like he wanted to, because
That was pretty ambitious.
well,
Oh.
I can't exactly do that alone. So
No, then we'll have to find a way to make sure that we have the funding necessary to take care of the children. Zaris was providing that before, so
I will. I'm not going to abandon you or the children. I'll make it work. I'll do. I'll.
How much what did you need?
So I forget exactly how much it was, but Zaris was he would just throw us a stipend. It was he just I suppose I didn't even really think to ask where he had gotten it from, but I mean he's a cleric, so I'm sure.
Blood bunny.
Oh, we have enough to cover things until we figure out a backup plan. And enough for now.
I just came into some. It's probably
Yep.
not as much, but here's a
Spirit,
donation
that's
to the
for you.
children.
I,
Nah,
I'll take care of it.
I
it's
couldn't.
okay.
Please. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You can tell me no all you want, but the kids are gonna get it either way. Because if I leave here without giving it to you, it's just gonna be by the front door. So do you want it or?
We have enough for now, and we will make ends meet. Thank you.
Gonna put 50 gold on the counter.
Subtle. Very subtle.
No, I'm making eye contact the entire time I'm doing it. Just wasn't really a
Excellent.
question.
It'll work out, Anya. I'm not.
Yeah. We'll find a way. We'll make it work.
We've come this far. We're not gonna let. I mean, the dreams may shift a little, but they're not gonna go back to where they were. And you still have a town to run.
I do. Yes. And keeping it running. It's for Zaris. That's the least I can do. I
Town and
promised him that I would take care of it in his absence, and I'm not about to break that promise now. Did you have somewhere to stay for the night? There's plenty of room for you here.
Me?
Well, both of you, yes.
I. If it's okay.
Of course. And she'll go and begin to get pillows and blankets and the like. Make sure that the, with how many beds there are, they're mostly occupied, but she can find you a comfortable place to rest for sure.
while she's moving around, grabbing all this stuff, I'm just gonna whisper in her ear real fast. Make sure that the kid that likes cats gets a little bit of that. Just,
Are you referring to the gold or?
yeah.
Okay. I will, thank you. So, were there any other matters that you would like to attend to before heading to bed for the evening?
Does this town have a guild?
A guild. So there is a place that is like it's not associated with your guild specifically, but basically the matters of business have been going through that.
I'm probably gonna go check it out, see what jobs they might be in need of, just to see.
Okay. So it is pretty late in the evening right now. They would be closed, but they would be opening up first thing in the morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
that face.
There's one guy that works there, so
Bad kitty goes back to orphanage.
So yeah, if there's nothing else that you guys would like to attend to, then we can go ahead and start your long rest.
I wanted to go into Xeris's office before bed,
Okay.
and I am going to attempt to consult his rocks.
Okay, to consult the rocks. All right. So, what is it? What are you trying to consult them about? Like, it's your
What
scene.
the hell am I supposed to do now? And why can't you come back?
Uh, so the rocks just so just and correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, but you're just going into the office and basically dumping them out on the desk and asking them questions.
She's gonna fiddle with them, like
Okay.
roll them in her hands, and just she's gonna kind of do what she saw him do the one time.
Okay. Okay. So I would say go ahead and let's do a history check to see how much of the details of that, like of what you saw him doing, that you remember.
Okay. 12.
Okay. So from what you remember, what he was using these for, um, when he would ask them things, it was basically a kind of like trying to figure out the outcome of something. So is this going to go good? Is this going to go bad? Um, Essentially things like that. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, so it's basically asking for, he would ask it for a sort of omen, in a way, basically a sign, like what what kind of result am I going to get from this course of action? Is kind of how he's used these in the past.
Okay. So remembering that, hmm. Okay. So let's go with um am I supposed to continue unifying the North?
Mm, okay. Let's see. Okay, so gonna ask for another check here, and I'm thinking I could see religion, I could see arcana, um, something of that nature to try and get the rocks to do their magic thing.
Okay. Uh, um go with religion.
Okay.
Ew. That's a big 5. Ick.
Okay. So the rocks just kind of lay there. They just seem like ordinary rocks at this point. Fancy ordinary rocks. But
Fancy ordinary rocks. She's gonna get real still and try to tap into her own druidness. If that's even a word.
Okay. I mean, yeah, sure.
And just kind of keep her hands on the rocks. And then, listen, Zaris, you son of a bitch. You put us here with your werewolves and your damn blob friend. You know, I have a damn tattoo because of you now. You could at least throw some guidance here. Something that's going to help. I mean, we've got the kids. What am I supposed to do? Abandon the kids? Yes, I supported your idea, but you want to give me some kind of advice, some kind of sign. I don't know. Make the rocks move, make them wiggle. I don't care. Turn into the one of the voices in my head. Can we do something? Give me some kind of sign. Make the tattoo tingle. I don't know. Help me out here, please. And she's just real quiet, kind of listening.
And it starts out very faintly, like almost imperceivable at first. But the markings on the rocks start to glow a little bit. And they start sort of wobbling. And that glow gets a little brighter. And the rocks kind of just float off the table just a little bit. And then they just kind of sort of come together, and you can almost feel this sort of warmth coming off of them. And they're all just bundled together right now. And then they just go back to ordinary rocks and drop on the table.
Okay. More practice with the rocks. What? I wonder, did they ever do that? Where's Blob Boy? I don't. Okay. She's gonna tuck the rocks back in the bag and just kind of thank you. I'll figure it out. Maybe. And then she's just kind of sitting there looking, just trying to figure it out. He'll probably end up falling asleep in his chair.
Yeah. The rocks can be cryptic.
Really?
But they got us this far. Yeah.
Oh.
And yes,
Were we supposed to be sleeping in the same area?
you don't have to. I mean, you can sleep where you want. You're an adult.
No, I just mean like where she set up our beds or cots or whatever.
Oh, I mean, well, she would have set it up for you, and then gone to bed herself. But if you chose to sleep somewhere else, then that's on you.
The reason I ask is because if she didn't come down, Spirit would have taken the blanket and stuff to her.
Ah, I mean, you're more than welcome to.
Yee. Sneaky, sneaky blanket. I'm gonna curl up in a ball in front of wherever the cot was supposed to be set up, and just lay there.
All right. And with that, your long rest is underway. And that is almost the end of tonight's episode. But we've got one more scene to do before we close up. Zaris,
Yes.
welcome. Now, kind of starting this off with, you find yourself somewhere cold is not very specific with how this whole campaign has been going. But you are essentially in, you're not where everybody thought you were in that way, right? Like the attempts of Balthazar to bring you back, no, no success there. Now you seemed pretty determined, so I don't really think that this is a matter of you not being willing to return, but more of a not being able. So we find you essentially, you're floating in this obsidian void. It is dark and seemingly endless. And you hear a voice. One of these days, these tricks, Clegg, I grow tired of them. You cannot run from me forever. Because in the end, all things come to Nox. And you find almost as if your back sort of presses up against something. Like it's where there was nothing before, there is now a solid mass. And your feet, it appears to be the same. Trying to move forward or to either side, but even up, trying to jump. Nothing. And then you hear a loud thud. 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 And that we're going to have to see next week.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, Gilbert. I love your reaction to cliffhangers, so I throw them in when I can.
I regularly use them, so it is only right and just that that I am subject to them as well.
Excuse me. Well, yes. So that is the conclusion for this episode of Colder Than a Twitch's Wit. Oh man, I almost butchered the title right at the end there. Now we here the Rolling Nomads, we're getting close. It's the end of the year. People are gonna have holiday things that they want to do. Lives outside of rolling dice and what have you. Um, as I'm sure many of the viewers do as well. So we're going to be taking a little bit of a break. We've got one more episode of Colder Than a Twitch's Wit, and that is going to be next Saturday, same time. But this is also wrapping up the first season of Colder Than a Twitch's Wit, with the next episode being kind of more of more of an epilogue, really. So when we've got people who won't be able to make it because holiday plans and what have you. So figured a nice little epilogue, and then once we get back into the swing of things, uh, in the new year, then yeah, we'll go from there. Um, in the meantime, does anybody else have anything to plug before we go into the closing spiel? No? All right, cool. Well, we have been the Rolling Nomads. I have been your Dungeon Master, David Gagnon. This has been Colder Than a Twitch's Wit. Now, you can catch us in a couple of places. Right here on Twitch, of course, at twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads for all of our new stuff. For all of our previous episode past streams, you can head over to YouTube. Like I said, a lot of those are getting up to date, so you can just go and binge watch it. Over the holidays, just sit your family down and just stream Rolling Nomads. Just don't stop. Don't let them leave. um, As far as best way to keep up to date with us, that's going to be over on Twitter at Rolling Nomads. It's where you find new programming coming to the channel, any changes, updates, or anything going on with the schedule there, late starts, cancellations, or just YouTube uploads too. We post that on there. As far as updates like, hey, this episode's up on YouTube now. We also have TikTok. We're getting more things up there. So you'll get little clips and, highlights from the show, and, maybe find something that you didn't know that you liked, and it just turned out to be something that you were into, and now you want to go binge watch that as well. So that's us. That's what we got. I'm not gonna steal your signature line there, Gilbert. Love you too much. But yeah, that's what we got for you. So we'll see you guys next time. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and yeah, we'll see you next time.